is a good one. Ravens-Chiefs, where Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes face off for the 4th time this Sunday night. And so far, Mahomes has got the upper hand. The Chiefs quarterback has thrown 9 touchdowns on 70% completions, while Lamar has only thrown 3 TDs on 170 passing yards per game. And when asked about his 0-3 record against his fellow former MVP, Lamar tried to deflect the personal rivalry. Take a listen.
It's not about, me and Mahomes. Not to me, probably to everyone else, but, it's the Ravens versus Kansas City Chiefs. They did beat us, 3 times or whatever, but that's in the past. We got a better opportunity this time to come around, and we take the advantage and win at our home stadium. But I'm not dwelling on those losses. We come Sunday night, and we're going to play.
Okay. Shannon, what do you got? Is Lamar right?
Jenny, I want you to give me Mahomes' numbers again. What has Mahomes done?
Oh, boy, they were really good numbers. Okay, I have... okay, the Chiefs QB has thrown 9 touchdowns on 70% completions. Lamar only thrown 3 TDs on 170 passing yards.
Is Lamar DB or QB? Because I don't believe any of those numbers that Patrick Mahomes put up was against Lamar Jackson. You see, Skip, what they do, Skip, is that Lamar Jackson, let's just say for the sake of argument, for this conversation here, Skip, Lamar goes out, he scores 33 points, throws for 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, rushes for another 8 and another one. Pat Mahomes gets the ball last and goes down there and wins. They're going to say, Patrick Mahomes outdueled Lamar Jackson. What about his defense? I'm more worried about that defense. Derek Carr threw for 435 yards. And he ain't got not one weapon on the offense other than Waller. Tyreek, can you imagine what Tyreek's going to do? Travis Kelce, they got speed out the yin-yang. I'm worried about Lamar Jackson's offensive line. They blitzed 1 time. 1 blitz. They pressured him all night. Villanueva, the Statue of Liberty moves better than Villanueva. And the Statue of Liberty hadn't moved since they put it up there in the harbor, 270 years ago. Ronnie Staley is not healthy because he's coming off that ACL injury. So that's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about, would I love for Lamar Jackson to be more consistent throwing the football? Absolutely. Skip, would I like him to do a better job of protecting the football? Absolutely. But I want someone to tell me the time that Lamar Jackson went into a game against the Kansas City Chiefs and he had the better team. That's what they do. He's never had a better team than Kansas City. Y'all used to do that all the time with Tom Brady. Tom Brady beat Peyton Manning. He had a better team. Tom Brady outgunned Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning goes to Denver. He gets him a Von Miller, a DeMarcus Ware, a Malik Jackson, Aqib Talib, Chris Harris Jr. Whoa, Tom ain't got... Whoa, that's not what y'all did. When Tom was beating the hell out of Peyton Manning, y'all said Tom was better. Peyton Manning gets some support. Now he got too much help. No, they know that. Kansas City Chiefs are a better football team than the Baltimore Ravens. Patrick Mahomes, we already know Patrick is a better quarterback. Lamar Jackson is going to have the game of his life, and that defense is going to have to play 1,000% better than what we saw on Monday night. Because if they play like they played Monday night, Skip, Chris Jones is a better defensive player than anybody on the Raiders. What the hell you think he's going to do to Villanueva, Skip?
Okay, help me out here because I'm a little lost on where you're heading, because I watched all 3 of these games, all won by Kansas City. Which of the teams in those 3 games had the better defense on the field that night or that day? Who had the better defense, Baltimore or Kansas City? Hey, help me out, because it was Baltimore all 3 times.
And thank you. And my homeboys went through it.
Who led the league in rushing each of those years? Oh, I think it was the Ravens.
If it's hard to run the football when you're behind.
Okay. But if you have the better defense, maybe you shouldn't be behind, right?
So that's Lamar's fault, huh?
He plays a role in it. And all I know is I thought he played a much better game than you thought he played on Monday night at Las Vegas. I thought he was mostly spectacular in that game, but he lost the ball twice in very crucial moments. 4th quarter, overtime. Just tried to do too much after he had run for some yards, and he just tried to switch the ball to the other hand, and it got knocked out. And then he was trying to hold it and hold it and hold it, and Nassib just came flying around and knocked it out of his hands. Okay, to your point, you just can't do that. if you don't fumble twice, I believe the Ravens are going to win that game. It just felt that way to me. Right. I don't know it for a fact, but it felt like that's where the game was heading.
Right.
And Lamar threw a whole bunch of great balls in that game.
Right.
That one to Sammy Watkins was it was
that's a chimney throw. He dropped it down the chimney.
And the rollout play and the throw to Hollywood in the back of the end zone. It's just, I don't know if anybody in the league can do that except that guy.
Right.
Okay, so that's what he can do best, while Mahomes can do many other things better. many other things better as a throwing and moving mobile quarterback, but not so much to run it, it's to escape.
No, he's looking to buy time to throw the ball over your head.
I got it. So back to Lamar's quotes. He said, it's not about me and Mahomes. And then he said, not to me, probably to everyone else. Well, to your point, to just about the rest of the known world, it's about those two. Both are MVP winners head-to-head. And when you look at the numbers, they're just staggeringly in favor of Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Like it's an embarrassment, because if you look at Lamar's numbers, he's only completed 53% of his passes against Kansas City.
Right.
And I'll give him a good defense. I won't go very good.
No. They're right.
Tom Brady shredded that defense in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, but that's Tom Brady. Okay, so 53% of your passes, yet in all your other games, 35 other starts in the National Football League, you've thrown 60, you complete 65%. So that's a quantum leap to me. And then you look at Lamar's, all of his other games, he's 65 touchdowns to only 18 interceptions. Well, that's, again, he's not Patrick Mahomes, but he won an MVP.
Right.
It's pretty great.
Right.
And yet against these guys, it's not very great, because you've only averaged 170 passing yards, almost 200 in all your other games.
But guess what? See, in those other games, Skip, they're playing with the lead. See, they're not built to throw the football from behind.
Okay.
They're built to throw the football when you think we're gonna drop all these guys to stop you from running, and now he hitting guys wide open. Skip, you remember they went to Kansas City, and it took 2 4th downs for my homeboy to get him.
That was the first one, right?
Yes. Yeah. In Kansas City, it took 2 4th down throws. It took a 4th down to Tyreek.
You want to talk about Houdini?
Yeah.
Like
you remember he rolled out of the pocket and threw it down the field, and Tyreek came out of nowhere.
That was the first time he caught my eye, and I said, wait a second.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then it was a 4th down on the goal line, and they got the touchdown on the slip to the running back. So Lamar, the first game, had an opportunity. But then you remember, 2 years ago, Earl Thomas talking about, well, they lost because they didn't have me. And they went there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and Patrick Mahomes threw for like 500. And then we saw that Monday, was it Monday night or Sunday night last year? Might have been a Monday night game, Skip. And again, you run that coverage and guys are wide open, and Mahomes has another big game. Lamar can play well, and they can still lose this game by 14, 20 points, Skip. That's how good Kansas City's offense is.
Obviously, it's a big loss now, especially with no Marcus Peters.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big advantage, Mahomes.
Yes. And Skip, and they lost their starting guard with a torn ACL. So I just don't, like I said, and he said, well, if you look at Lamar's record, he's 0-3 against Mahomes. He's 30-5 against everyone else. There's no shame in being 0-3 against Mahomes. Baker Mayfield is 0-3 against Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen is 0-2 against Patrick Mahomes. Big Ben Roethlisberger is 0-1 against Patrick Mahomes. Drew Brees was 0-1 against Patrick Mahomes. Ain't no shame. This kid has only lost 8 games. And a few of them been to Tom Brady. So it ain't no shame. It ain't like a whole lot of people got, oh yeah, I got on my resume, I beat Patrick Mahomes. Ain't a whole lot of people can say that, Skip. Tom Brady can both say, you know what, I got a winning record. Because I beat him 3, he's beat me 2. But everybody else,
I thought you were going to say it's no shame to lose an AFC championship game and a Super Bowl to Tom Brady.
No, I'm just saying, no, there's no shame to lose to Patrick Mahomes. They're making it seem like, man, Lamar, you shouldn't be losing to Patrick Mahomes. Hell, he's just the best quarterback in football.
Okay, here's my bottom line. What I love the most about Lamar Jackson as a football player is how hard he competes. But he still has to learn that he almost plays with that T.O. kind of rage to him, you know, like, I'm going to do this.
Right.
But you have to channel it. You have to control it. You have to stay in charge of your own rage, your competitive nature, where you clean it up to where you can't fumble the football.
Right.
You can make the runs that he made in the fourth quarter, because they took my breath away.
Right.
Like that one run, I'm saying nobody can do that.
But Skip,
right?
you know
but
this.
You can't. You got to stay in control of the football.
In today's game, Lamar Jackson can rush for 1,500 yards. He's not running the Ravens to a championship running the football. You're going to have to make throws.
Sure.
You look at Derek Carr. Look at every game Sunday that came down late, and the quarterback made a throw. It wasn't a run. So the running is good. It's electrified, and he can get out of small spaces that very few quarterbacks have ever been able to get out of. But if you think Lamar Jackson is going to run them to a Super Bowl, you're crazy.
Okay, I got it. But I also think he's highly capable of winning this game Sunday night. He's just that good. He's that good.
Skip, you realize who he's going against? He's that good, but he's going against a guy that's better.
He competes. I like the Ravens in this game.
I'm glad you do. I'm glad you're going to get a bet.
Okay, good. Tomorrow, we will do that.
Okay. All right, good.
And
I'm
Monday,
curious.
I will celebrate.
You'll celebrate? Will you celebrate about the
Are you
Cowboys,
feeling real
though?
good? I'll tell you what you won't be celebrating.
I don't know. I'm curious your
about
feelings.
what's going on in SoFi.
Guys, the Cowboys were dealt another blow after their game against the ahead of their game against the Chargers. We know we're watching that one, so let's talk about how Skip's feeling about his Cowboys after the break.
No mercy.